Good evening. I'm Claudia Felsen, tonight's Creating Hope Chair. I am thrilled to see so many old and new friends of Shalom Bayit. It's so fantastic to be in a room filled with compassionate and caring individuals. We put together a program that will highlight what Shalom Bayit does, tell about what's happening globally, as well as have an opportunity to nourish our souls. And you will have a chance to help us raise additional funds during our Gift of the Heart paddle race led by Shauna McNulty. At the registration desk, you were given a beautiful colored bag that has your bid number on the back of your program, and there's a donation card in there as well. Following our Gift of the Heart, we'll end the evening with inspiring keynote speaker Sabrina Sojourner. I'd like to acknowledge some special guests who are here with us this evening. San Francisco Supervisors Myrna Melgar, Catherine Stephanie, and Raphael Mendelman. San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins and City Attorney David Chu. And there's more. Berkeley City Council member Sophie Hahn, Jewish Community Federation CEO and past honoree Joyce Asiski, Silicon Valley's Federation CEO Daniel Klein, and two of our incredible longtime community leaders, Rita Samel and Sissy Swig, who've been with Shalom Bayit from day one. A big thank you to the event and host committees, the honorary committee, and our honorary chair, Julie Chaikin. We are grateful to everyone who sponsored tonight's event, and I'd especially like to acknowledge the sponsors listed on the screen. Julie Chaikin and the Donald and Carol Chaikin Foundation, Moses Libitsky, the John Pritzker Family Fund, and Sissy Swig. And our Menchep sponsors, Vicki Abeles, Ray and Jonathan Kaur, Geraldine Gelt, Roberta Gelt, Linda and Tom Kalinowski, Stacy and Evan Levy, and Barry Zimmerman. There's a complete listing of sponsors in your program, so please take a look. We thank you all. Many of us have experienced trauma in some form or another. I bet the person sitting next to you or behind you has a story that would surprise you. You never know what someone may be dealing with, even if they appear to be, quote, fine. Shalom Bayit's Love Shouldn't Hurt program for teens really resonates with me. It is imperative to teach what a healthy relationship should look and feel like. Sometimes we want a relationship so badly that we overlook the obvious red flags, like I did in my last relationship, which was psychologically abusive. I thought if I just showered him with enough love that I could fix his problems. Sorry. Luckily, I ended it before it went too far. Shalom Bayit provides a safety net for members of our Bay Area Jewish community. Sharing and feeling heard is vital to begin the process of healing. Together, we can help each other find our strength, stand back up, ready to claim the life we were blessed with. Enjoy the program.
When the Israelites in the desert needed help, they had Miriam's well. And when Jewish women in the Bay Area need help making a better life for themselves, they have Shalom Bayit.
I had dated my ex-husband for almost 4 years, a pillar in the Jewish community, very well respected. I spoke to the counselor, and I really realized I was in deep, and I needed a lot of help. I called, and they sent me some information, and I went down this checklist, and I was shocked. I could check off almost every sign on the list. He had me stop working. I had no money. He was critical. He was mean. He was cruel. I just didn't know what I had done, and I was trying to figure it out.
Shalom Bayit supports survivors of abuse on their journey from subjugation to freedom.
Our mission is really about ending domestic violence, and a piece of that mission is our counseling program that helps battered women to get back on their feet, to be safe in their homes, and to help their families out of those abusive relationships.
Being part of such a lovely group of brave, strong Jewish women in the support group is a unique feeling of comfort and community. It's the first time I've ever felt truly heard.
Love Shouldn't Hurt is one of the most exciting programs at Shalom Bayit, helping teens and young adults build a culture of consent and a world without violence.
We work with about 1,000 Jewish youth a year doing healthy relationships education. We build into their education this life skill about looking towards healthy friendships and healthy relationships in their future. We need to also be doing prevention, and we need to also be changing the societal attitudes that allow domestic violence to happen in the first place.
We want to raise our kids in a world where they never need to call Shalom Bayit.
It was so amazing to hear everyone be able to learn about consent and healthy boundaries, specifically in relation to our Jewish culture.
Shalom Bayit helped our synagogue formulate a domestic violence response policy that made our community feel more safe.
We are also working with community leaders and clergy because they're the people that are really the moral compass of the community, and also the people that someone in crisis will turn to. And we want to make sure that everyone in the community knows how to respond when a battered woman does reach out for help.
I was out to lunch with a friend who had been on the board of Shalom Bayit, and she said, I think you need to read these books, and I think you need to call somebody.
My friend told me to call.
My synagogue president told me to call.
My son's teacher told me to call.
Our community can be the well of healing waters that nourishes women on their journey to freedom.
Shalom Bayit has saved 6 or 7 or 8 women that I know. Saved their lives. That's the impact that Shalom Bayit has had.
Good evening. My name is Geraldine Gelt, and I have the honor of chairing the board of Shalom Bayit. We are a small organization whose impact is not always seen, but I'm proud to say that we are changing the lives of women and their families for the better every day. There's a Jewish proverb that says, I ask not for a lighter burden, but broader shoulders. That is the essence of emotional resilience, to have broader shoulders in the face of a heavy load. No one embodies this more than the staff at Shalom Bayit. The people who spend each day holding intense trauma for survivors of abuse, guiding community leaders, handling complicated situations, and giving youth in our schools and synagogues the promise of a brighter tomorrow and the tools to treat each other with dignity. They are my heroes. The broad shoulders of our amazing counseling team support those who are struggling in unbearable situations, helping them to find solace and solutions. It takes incredible strength and resilience to do this day in and day out. Thank you, Deb, Noah, Mariana, Emma, and Hagar, for showing up for our clients and helping them to build strong shoulders of their own. Jewish youth in the Bay Area are standing on the broad shoulders of our passionate educators, Melissa, Zafira, and Liana, who bring the message of healthy relationships to teens in a way that changes their lives forever. They learn to speak up, demand respect for themselves, and model healthy relationships for their peers. What an incredible lesson. I truly believe that my teenage years would have been much happier and healthier if I had been fortunate enough to attend a Love Shouldn't Hurt workshop. In providing our young people with these lessons, Shalom Bayit provides a crucial benefit for our community. As Melissa says, the youth are our next leaders. Helping them to learn about healthy relationships, consent, and good boundaries is essential. Our prevention team also teaches parents, educators, clergy, congregations, and all of us how to respond to domestic violence and prevent sexual harassment in the Jewish workplace so that our Jewish community can be a place of peace and safety. And for keeping Shalom Bayit running smoothly behind the scenes, including making tonight happen, I'd like to recognize the broad shoulders of our office and development teams, Loriana, Lev, David, Tamar, Kinneret, and John. If Shalom Bayit is like Miriam's well, you are the people whose labor, dedication, and skill make it possible for us to draw from that well. Could the staff all please stand so that we can show you our appreciation? Now, who am I forgetting? Oh, yes, my partner in crime, Shalom Bayit's founder and executive director, Naomi Tucker. There has not been a more important and outspoken voice for survivors of domestic violence in the Bay Area Jewish community than Naomi. I'm so fortunate to work beside her and learn from her, and there's been so much to learn, and I will be forever grateful. Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you, Geraldine, and good evening, everyone. I'm so happy that you're all here celebrating 32 years of walking women on their journey to freedom. We are here tonight to celebrate and support this incredible organization that is a wellspring of hope and possibility for those who've been trapped in impossible situations. We're here to celebrate the 1,328 women who've walked through our doors and called our phone lines in 32 years. We're here to celebrate our Love Shouldn't Hurt program that you just heard about from Geraldine that makes dating violence prevention an integral part of Jewish education in synagogues, day schools, summer camps, and college campus hillels. Over the years, these workshops, as you might have seen on the screen, have reached 18,849 teens and college students and kids as young as 10 and 11. These young people now have tools to integrate healthy boundaries, consent, and clear communication into their friendships so they can manage their future intimate relationships with dignity and holiness. Yes. We're here to celebrate the Jewish organizations and synagogues who partner with us to prevent sexual harassment and create respectful Jewish workplaces. We're here tonight to celebrate our Svoboda program, the only Russian-speaking domestic violence program on the West Coast. When we started Svoboda 6 years ago, we got a lot of pushback from people who said this was not a need in the Russian community. But as we spread the word, lifted the stigma, and offered bilingual services, women did come forward to get help. And today, we serve about 30 women a year from the Russian community who come to us for domestic violence support, and those women are now living in freedom. Yet, despite Shalom Bayit's visibility and strength, we find ourselves at a moment where, once again, the world will not acknowledge violence against women if the women are Jewish. In the past 6 months, the lack of public willingness to address that fact has been devastating. On top of the grief, fear, and anguish we've all felt since October 7th, here in our own backyard, it's as if we've fallen into a time warp. Suddenly, it's acceptable for people in a public meeting to make death threats to Jews. It's acceptable to justify or rationalize rape as a political tool, or tell women that rape didn't happen to them because we don't have enough proof, or she's just making it up. Rape is never justified, never. What we are living through in this moment is the nexus of anti-Semitism and sexism, two age-old insidious tools designed to use some people as pawns to maintain other people's power. Most personally painful for me, from 40 years of working in the movement to end violence against women, is that this rape denialism has been promoted by people who should know better, heads of gender studies programs and rape crisis centers, and even UN Women, the branch of the United Nations dedicated to addressing safety and equality for women globally. The most significant global voice on violence against women has been silent. That's why we are thrilled, yeah, that's a big boo. That's why we're thrilled to be honoring Israeli tech entrepreneur Danielle Ofek tonight, who single-handedly, yes, Danielle single-handedly took on UN Women with her Me Too Unless You're a Jew campaign. 32 years ago, a group of us started Shalom Bayit precisely to counter the prevailing belief that violence didn't happen to Jewish women. Today, we can feel the difference. Our crisis intervention and prevention programs now touch more than 3,000 lives each year. Those who are trapped now have someplace to go, someone to help them. Today, 80 rabbis around the Bay sit on our Rabbinic Advisory Council working to address violence against women so no one has to live in fear. There's a number of you in the house tonight, so let's give our rabbis some love. Clergy are often our first responders. They support families in crisis, call out harmful behavior, confront abusers when needed. A strong clergy response can determine whether our synagogues feel safe for women and whether survivors will stay connected to Jewish community through their crisis. At Shalom Bayit, we know how to combat denial. We know how to shift public opinions in ways that create safety and healing. We need these skills now more than ever. Our theme tonight is drawing from Miriam's well. In this time of tremendous challenge for our community, we all could use some healing waters to nourish our neshamas, our souls. So tonight, let's fill our cups with something good. The story of Miriam, which we're about to retell around our Seder tables, is central to our core liberation story as a people. Miriam is the older sister of Moses and Aaron. And of course, she's the one who saves baby Moses, floating him down the Nile when Pharaoh orders the killing of all the firstborn baby boys. After Moses leads the escaping Israelites through the Red Sea, Miriam leads the women in celebration of freedom and song and dance. And what happens next brings us to the story of Miriam's well. We all know that it wasn't easy to go. At first, the Israelites resisted Moses' crazy plan. You want us to run into the sea? Hey, we're going to die in there. No way. I think I'll just stay right here in slavery. Yes, fear of the unknown can feel even more insurmountable than familiar misery. That's how it is for survivors of domestic violence. There's good reason, actually, to fear the escape. A harrowing journey, being stalked and pursued by an angry, controlling oppressor. Like Pharaoh did, abusers often hunt down their victims and block their exodus. Statistically, the most dangerous time for abused women is actually after they leave the relationship. That's when most domestic violence murders take place. Women know. They know the risk of leaving. And yet, like the Israelites, many do still take the plunge and flee. So after the escape, when the Israelites got to the other side and Miriam led the women with her timbrels in celebration, had they arrived at the promised land? No. It was the desert where they had no water and would not survive. Miriam again saves the day. A well followed her through the desert that brought strength and renewal to all who drew from it. It literally saved their lives. When Shalom Bayit clients muster the courage to leave an abusive partner, we walk with them as they cross the sea. We celebrate each small victory with them. And when they are still wandering, trying to find their promised land, having left all their worldly possessions behind, facing unknowns and perils, coping with the trauma aftermath or the financial hardship, facing custody battles or being stalked and harassed by their former partner, Shalom Bayit is there. We're there to provide resources, to be the well that nourishes and sustains them on their journey to freedom. And this is where you come in, because you are the well too. Your tangible support of Shalom Bayit is what ensures that our well won't run dry. Your statements of solidarity, I believe you, I'm with you, this wasn't your fault, it's not okay, help survivors replace shame and blame with validation, strength, and love. Being an ally gives women hope on their journey to know that a safe home is on the other side and that they are not wandering alone. Community helps vulnerable victims become resilient survivors. Community also fills the well so that families in need can draw strength from those living waters. Thank you for being that well. But Miriam's miracle brought more than just survival. She also brought joy. Jewish tradition teaches us to turn toward joy even and especially in our most challenging moments. Miriam exemplifies this lesson by celebrating each milestone along the journey, even when we're not yet where we want to be. When things are hard, that is when we most need to come together in community and make our hearts happy. The brilliant feminist and activist Emma Goldman, one of my favorite role models, famously advocating for dancing our way through the revolution and believed in every human being's right to experience joy. She said, "I want freedom, the right to self-expression, and everybody's right to beautiful, radiant things." It's hard to experience joy if you're in danger. That's why the work we do to help people be safe in their most intimate and sacred spaces is absolutely essential to life. My grandparents grew up in a time of signs that read, "No Jews or dogs allowed." Never did I imagine I would personally experience anything like that. Yet we are feeling echoes of that right now, right here. Fortunately, as Jews, we know how to be resilient in hard times. Like our grandparents or survivors of any violence know so well, we have to keep living, take care of ourselves and each other, find time to let loose, dance, laugh, cry, feel our feet on the earth, celebrate, surround ourselves with good chocolate, if you're me, and good friends, and experience joy. So let's embody Emma and Miriam by bringing on the joy, hope, and possibility. Every year at my Seder table, it's our tradition to fill a special Miriam's cup with water to commemorate how Miriam nourished us on our journey to freedom. Water. It's so simple, yet miraculous. Water makes up 60% of the human body and 70% of our planet. It's a spiritual resource for healing. Its flow is one of the most beautiful, calming sounds of nature. Water is a force of life. This Passover, I invite you to fill a cup with water in honor of Miriam and celebrate the things you are grateful for. I'll raise my Miriam's cup for Colette, whose story you'll hear shortly. I'll celebrate another client who just last week was granted a permanent restraining order to keep herself and her daughter safe. And I'll mark my gratitude for my own ability to lay my head down at night in a safe place and know that I can get up in the morning and help others to have that luxury. I have no idea where the last page of my speech is, but I'm going to tell you. Thank you. At Shalom Bayit, we are prepared for everything. So I'd like to close with the words of my wonderful colleague, Melissa Chapman, who's the CEO of the East Bay JCC, who said recently, joy is a powerful form of resistance. So let's practice joy. Let's do our work of tikkun, of repair, by living the world we want to see. If we want peace, we must live peace. In our daily interactions with those around us, let's be kind to each other, remember to nourish ourselves, and fill our own cups as well as others. We are remarkably resilient creatures, and when we create hope together, we build the world we want to see. Thank you. I love you all. And now, it is my great honor to introduce the next part of the evening. Rabbi Patricia Carlin Newman writes about Miriam in the Women's Torah Commentary and says, at her sea crossing, emerging from the waters, she does not wait for someone else to change the world. She does not demur that she was not bound for greatness. She does not blend into the crowd. Instead, Miriam's voice rings out for all to hear. Miriam is a leader. In the waters of transition, Miriam sparks innovation, creativity, and hope, rooted in the past yet focused on the future, just like contemporary women leaders. These are the qualities embodied by tonight's honoree, Danielle Ofek. Like Miriam, she did not wait for someone else to change the world. She simply stood up and did it. After October 7th, she left her job and started a campaign to tell the United Nations that violence happens to Jewish women too, and we must be counted. We matter. Let's take a look.
It takes a lot of courage to bring a difficult topic to light that people don't want to hear. As a rape survivor, I've been absolutely traumatized by the gruesome assaults on Israeli women on October 7th and in captivity. I relate to the horror and the complete lack of control and ability to fight for yourself and for your very life. Danielle speaks for Jewish women everywhere who want the world to pay attention. I'm grateful she created a platform that people are listening to and made this issue known internationally. She's made this her passion, and she is unstoppable.
I appreciate Danielle's never-ending diligence and determination to support those who were victims on October 7th and the hostages. Danielle, thank you so much for your leadership.
I know we are very powerful as women and we can do magic. Danielle did magic in a very, very short time with UN Women, and really I don't think there is an Israeli woman who doesn't speak up, asking where are all women organizations, why they're being so silent.
Obviously, Danielle identified a problem with UN Women in that the response of this organization was not satisfactory and literally ignored the plight of countless Israeli women and girls.
Speaking out against gender-based violence can never become political. I will never keep silent. Thank you.
Danielle, thank you for sparking innovation, creativity, and hope. Thank you for your chutzpah, your courage, perseverance, and tireless dedication on behalf of Jewish women and girls. We are thrilled to present you with the 2024 Changing Lives Award.
Thank you. Thank you for honoring me with this award. It is so meaningful to be recognized by Shalom Bayit for the impact of the Me Too Unless You're a Jew campaign. Our grassroots global petition to end the United Nations silence on sexual violence against Israeli women and girls on October 7th, and for the hostages still in captivity. Hamas' horrific massacre on October 7 and the ensuing silence from humanitarian organizations and women's groups changed everything. It changed how so many of us, myself included, see the world. We saw the utter apathy and inaction from the very organizations designed to speak up for victims of violence against women when the victims were Jewish. With my background in high-tech, I founded Me Too Unless You're a Jew because I knew I could make a unique and powerful contribution. To date, our petition to UN Women has close to 500,000 signatures. Our billboards in Times Square have been viewed an estimated 90 million times. In an act of sheer Israeli chutzpah, I personally projected an installation onto the walls of the United Nations headquarters. I've spoken about the October 7 atrocities at the Congress and at the British House of Lords. I'm proud that, after extensive pressure, UN Women finally acknowledged the sexual violence committed on October 7 and just published an official report with their findings. We are making noise and we are being heard. Yet, we still have a lot of work to do. The UN's report was a step forward, but still minimized, contextualized, and denied some of the sexual violence. So we are publishing our own policy briefing and urging UN Women to fulfill its mandate to advocate for all women and girls. As we forge ahead, I will continue my work fighting against anti-Semitism and violence against women. I will never be silent, and I will never, never, ever stop fighting for my people, for humanity, and for justice. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to invite someone special, my son. He wants to say some words.
Hi, my name is Maidan. I'm standing here with my mom, and I'm incredibly proud of her. I've witnessed her dedications to women's rights for years, and I want to express my pride in her and my commitment to fighting alongside her for all women. I'm proud to be an advocate for women, and I hope more men will join me. Love you, Mom.
Hello. Hello. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Good evening. My name is Colette. Thank you for inviting me this evening to share my story with you. It's not only important, it's critical. This organization saves lives, literally. I recently watched the Netflix series Made, based on Stephanie Land's personal experiences of domestic abuse. It hit a raw nerve. I could relate to the patterns, abuse, and red flags that I was unable to see or admit to myself at the time, but now see so clearly. The self-blame, shame, guilt make it too hard to acknowledge. I sat in silence for 6 years. Other women, a lifetime. The hardest part was asking myself, how did I get here? A highly successful, confident businesswoman caught in an abusive dynamic. No one could believe what was happening to me. My story begins a decade ago when a mutual friend introduced us. Establishing our relationship rapidly, it was all very romantic. I was living in Tel Aviv, running my PR and marketing agency. I was love-bombed. This is a term in psychology which means over-the-top displays of affection to gain control as early parts of emotional abuse. Our relationship moved fast. Within a year of meeting, we were engaged, pregnant, and had moved to London. 6 months after my first son was born, I was pregnant with our second and running my own company, and then he declared we're moving to San Francisco. I sacrificed my whole life to accommodate his desires. I left my career to take care of our children so he could fulfill his startup dreams. We moved to an apartment in San Jose, not San Francisco, in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't walk anywhere. I'm from London. No one understood me when I spoke because I was using British vocab, and less than a week after arriving, he took himself off to Burning Man for 2 weeks, leaving me with the babies and no support. When I begged him to stay because I was overwhelmed and scared, he screamed at me so hard, I totally lost my ability to think and completely froze. This PTSD became normal for me. I lived in a world of gaslighting and blame. His big gestures and gifts and manipulation completely reprogrammed my reality. He traveled the world and was living his best life. I was totally alone and isolated for weeks at a time. I actually got to the point where I would go to Target just to see other people. I had no friends, family, community, or synagogue, nothing. He had totally cut me off from my life for 2 years. When his startup dream failed, I went back to work, and my career began to soar. Then his anger grew towards me, and his behavior became more volatile. In 2018, I lost a baby in the second trimester, and I nearly died. The following week, he declared he was going to divorce me. All the money was his, and that everybody here was his friends and family, and I could never leave California without his permission. I started to notice that there was a really wrong level of control and abuse going on, but I still blamed myself, thinking I had to do better to fix the relationship. I borrowed cash to see a lawyer in secret for advice. He then hacked into my Gmail, read my journal, and found out I was trapped. This pattern continued. As I became more awake, his aggression grew. He began to verbally threaten me, hitting the wall, demanding sex every day, and making me do sexual acts I did not enjoy. December 11th, 2022, he attacked me. He choked me in front of my eldest son. He then called the cops to try to get me arrested, which I later found out is a common tactic for an abuser who's totally lost control of his spouse. The irony was, he got arrested, and I got a restraining order. Since that day, I have not seen or spoken to him without either legal counsel or law enforcement present. He told his friends I was crazy, I was an unfit mother, and that he was the victim. Boo-hoo. He has little contact with our 3 children. He had a year of supervised visitation. He pays no child support or spousal support. Yet after the arrest, he seemed to manage to wipe our bank account so he could buy himself a new truck, having not been working for months. He continues to attempt to control or block whatever he can in my life. And it was my sister and friend that both sent me the number of Shalom Bayit. Just to say, my sister's in England, and she sent me the number of Shalom Bayit. They literally saved my life. Shalom Bayit offered me support groups, emergency money, security cameras, coupons for diapers, and a financial advisor. They helped me maintain a sense of Jewish identity in my home for me and my 3 children. Through their resources, I learned to do the most basic tasks I'd never been exposed to in the US, like a tax return and a bank account. The team, my goodness, they listened to me rant, cry in a pit of despair. They were 100% there for me and my children, helping me to be my best advocate. Thank you, Deb. It took me a year to reprogram myself, rebuild my life, and create a community. Shalom Bayit was there every step of the way. I'd like to end with a quote by Rabbi Naftali Reich that moves me deeply about this evening's theme about Miriam's well. Without water, life cannot survive. Nonetheless, millions of Jewish people survived in the parched and barren desert for 40 years. How is this possible? Only through a miracle. During their travels through the desert, the Jewish people were accompanied by a rock which had an abundant supply of water constantly flowing. It was called Miriam's well. It was called Miriam's well because it existed on the merit of Moses' older sister Miriam, who was a righteous woman and a prophetess in her own right. Shalom Bayit is like Miriam's well for me, the miracle that kept me alive whilst I was wandering in the desert. What I love about Miriam is her resilience, faith, and joy, leading the people across the Red Sea through dance and music, bringing the miracle of water into the desert. Resilience, faith, and joy have kept me going in my most difficult moments. I hold on to how grateful I am. I had Shalom Bayit, and I had the means to get out. Now, as we head towards Passover, I'm about to find my own exodus. I'm thrilled to tell you that the courts have granted me 100% custody and the right to move back to my home in the UK with my children. I also... After 18 months of fighting 6 rabbis later, last week I got my get. The journey has not been easy, yet in the face of adversity, we too can rise up like Miriam, for we're much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. Thank you for listening. Please support Shalom Bayit generously. There are many women like me, and those with less resources than me. I'm the lucky one. They really need your help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Colette. As you just heard, the work we do at Shalom Bayit is vital. Everyone deserves to have healthy relationships, and everyone deserves to feel safe in their own home, at work, at school, in their congregations, and in the world. We provide support and a safe space for families and individuals like Colette who are experiencing abuse and domestic violence during times when they may not have anywhere else to turn. With us, they can feel safe, seen, heard, and culturally understood. And Colette's powerful story is only one story out of thousands. We offer our critical services completely free of charge for anyone who needs our support the most. But in order for us to do this, we need your help. And I'm going to make my way down to you right now so we can start this next journey this evening together. This is our gifts of the heart, and this is how it's going to work. We will begin at our first level of $10,000 and work our way all the way down to $100. At each level, we will share with you just some examples of how your donations could support Shalom Bayit. There, with just some examples, there is no pressure or obligation to donate, but if and when one or more of these levels feels right to you, simply raise your bid number up in the air to make a meaningful gift from your heart, a generous donation, an investment into Shalom Bayit. There is no pressure again. If any of you would prefer a quieter way, you are also welcome to use our text to give option, which you will see on the screen. You can scan the QR code in the back of your program or fill out a gift of the heart card that's inside your bag. Now, tonight has been so moving. And as Colette said, the work we do literally saves lives. So before we begin at our level of $10,000, I would like to open up the opportunity right now to anyone in the room who might be willing or moved or inspired to give at any amount larger than our starting level of $10,000. A gift, let's say, of $36,000 that could literally change the lives by helping 20 women from subjugation to freedom. A gift of $18,000 could provide an entire year of support groups around the Bay Area. Or perhaps we have someone inspired to give a gift of $15,000 or $12,000. So I'm asking if there's anyone here tonight who would like to start out our gifts of the heart at an amount greater than $10,000. If so, please raise your bid number or your hand right now. I see someone right here. Thank you so much. Would you mind sharing with me the level you'd like to donate? $12,000. We have a gift of $12,000. Yes, round of applause. That's bid number 411. Thank you, thank you. Anyone else feeling the first higher level of giving tonight? Wait a few more. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much. All right. We are now going to start with our first official gift of the heart level of $10,000. Gifts at this amount can help transform 2 synagogues with abuse prevention policies. Do we have anyone to start us off with a generous gift of $10,000? Oh, I have something over here. What? I've just been informed we have a $10,000 gift of the heart from an anonymous donor. Yes, amazing. David, thank you. David, please let the recorders know on the way out so they know who the anonymous donor will be. Thank you. A round of applause for the $10,000 level, everybody. Thank you. Moving on to $5,000, this next level can help provide vital emergency financial assistance to 3 families. This is our $5,000 level. Do we have anyone here that would like to give at the $5,000 level? Please hold your bid number high and proud in the air. I see one right there. Number 454. Thank you so much. I'm just going to come up here to make sure there's nobody up here. Anybody else at the 5? I see one. I'm coming up the stairs. All right. Can you put it straight? It's 436. Thank you so much. Thank you. Round of applause. This is giving. This is supporting. This is wonderful. Let's clap and cheer for everyone when they're giving like this. All right, I'm coming back down. Just one more check of the room here at the $5,000 level. All right, we're going to close out our $5,000 level. Thank you so much. All right, yes, round of applause. Next up, for $2,500 level, every $2,500 we raise tonight can help accompany one mom through family court. Please put your bid number in the air if you can support one mom at our $2,500 level. I see one right there, $390. Thank you. I'm coming up. I see $114. Thank you so much. Yes, that's amazing. $207. Thank you so much. More bid numbers. I love it. $130. Thank you. $104. Thank you. Amazing. Do we have anybody else at this level? No? All right. Thank you so much. Now I'm making my way down again. Thank you so much to everybody all throughout this room for giving and participating in our gifts to the heart. Our next level is $1,800. This level can help provide 18 counseling sessions to survivors in crisis. Please put your bid number up if you have the generous donation of $1,800. Number 396. Thank you. 4, 1, 3. Thank you. I see you up there. 3, 1, 7. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Do I have anybody else? I'm going to go to the bottom so I can see before we close out this one. Round of applause for this level, $1,800. All right, we've now moved to our $1,000 level. Every $1,000 raised can deliver consent education to 40 teens. We've all heard how important this is. Please raise your bid number in the air if you feel comfortable at the $1,000 level. I see 3, 8, 1, thank you. 3, 1, 5, thank you. 1, 9, 4, thank you. 2, 8, 9, thank you. 4, 0, 3, thank you. I'm coming up here. Anybody else at the $1,000 level? Do I see anybody else up there at the top? I don't think I do. Round of applause for $1,000. Oh, wait, I got another one. 2, 3, 7. Thank you. I'm just going to check. I'm going to do kind of a going once, going twice. Anybody else at the $1,000 level? All right. Thank you so much, everybody who gave at the $1,000 level. All right. We are at the $500 level. Donations of $500 can provide a healing support group session for 7 women. This is very important. Who can give at our $500 level? I'm going to start over here. 3, 7, 2. Thank you. 3, 3, 2. Thank you. 2, 8, 2. Thank you. 1, 3, 3. Thank you. 7, 1, 1. Thank you. 2, 2, 6. Thank you. 1, 3, 6. Thank you. Wait, I see you. 4, 5, 8. Thank you. 4, 2, 4. Thank you. 3, 1, 2. Thank you. I'm coming down this way. Round of applause for everybody giving. 1, 0, 1. Thank you. 2, 5, 5. Thank you. 4, 3, 0. Thank you. 2, 2, 1. Thank you. I didn't come this way. I just want to make sure. Anybody else at the $500 level? I see some. No? Okay, they're just passing the programs around. All right. All right, we're going to close out this $500 level. Round of applause for everybody who just gave. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, $250. This is our second to the last level of the night. Every $250 we raise can educate 15 people about healthy boundaries. Who is comfortable at the $250 level? I'm seeing them all come up. 2, 4, 0. Thank you. 1, 4, 1. Thank you. 3, 5, 8. Thank you. 3, 7, 4. Thank you. 3, 9, 2. Thank you. 3, 7, 7. Thank you. A handwritten. Hold on, I can see it. 8, 2, 6. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. 202, thank you. 394, thank you so much. 306, thank you so much. Okay. Oh, 160 right in front of my face, thank you. All right, anybody else at our $250 level before we close this out? Oh, I see it. I gotta go back up the stairs. Excuse me, Mr. Photographer. Okay, 139, thank you. Awesome, everybody. Amazing. Thank you so much. All right. We have reached our last level of the night. Every $100 will allow us to answer 4 helpline calls. Since this will be our final level, we would love as much participation as possible. Because of that, we have some extremely generous donors who have offered a matching donation of $3,600. Round of applause for our donors. Okay, what does this mean? This means we need to get 36 donations at our $100 level to achieve this match. This also means that every $100 donated right now will actually unlock $200 for Shalom Bayit. So, if you've already given at another level, but feel inspired to give again, you certainly can. You can also help us achieve this match faster by donating multiple times at the level. All you have to do is put your fingers up. 5 fingers up means 5 donations of $500, unlocking $1,000 for Shalom Bayit. So you can tell me how many times you would like to donate to get us to this 36 goal that we have here. If you came here tonight as someone's guest and haven't yet had the opportunity to give, this would be a beautiful way to pay it forward. I know we can do it. Let's go for 36 at our $100 level. All right, let's start it off big. 3, 2, 4, thank you. 178, thank you. 338, thank you. 163, thank you. 285, thank you. 269, thank you. 331, thank you. 388, thank you. 101, thank you. 236, thank you. 271, thank you so much. 302, thank you. 297, thank you. 8, wait, can you take your hand off the side? Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm getting the right number. 304, thank you. 457, thank you. Hi there, I'm like in your space. 409, thank you. 208, thank you. 415, that's 415, thank you. 343, thank you. 189, thank you. 710, thank you. 370, thank you. Thank you. Keep clapping. 145, thank you. 175, thank you. 105, thank you. 232, thank you. I have 2 for 429. 429 is doing 2 donations. Thank you. 333, thank you. Oh, I see you. I can't see your bid. Can you turn it this way? Sorry. Oh, thank you. 205, thank you. Oh, up here. 439, thank you. 206, thank you. 275, thank you. All right. I see there's more. I'm coming. I see people pointing. I'm coming down. Oh, my goodness. All the way in the other corner of the room. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Hang in there with me, everybody. Oh, my God. So many down here. Okay. 254, thank you. 383, thank you. 273, thank you. 156, thank you. 209, thank you. All right, where are my recorders? What are we at? What are we at? We got 37! Woo! Amazing job, everybody. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much. That was absolutely spectacular. Thank you so much for your tremendous generosity tonight and for helping us make such a meaningful difference for so many people. Now, before we introduce our incredible keynote speaker, I'd like to remind you that if you made a donation tonight, or you would still like to donate any other amount, because every dollar helps, you can fulfill your pledges by either texting the word HOPE to 415-687-6222, which you can see on the screen, or by scanning the QR code at the back of the program, or filling out your gift of heart card and passing it down the aisles where we have our wonderful helpers who are collecting them. There's our lovely helpers. Thank you so much. Okay. I was just so excited. Great job, you guys. We are so grateful for how excited everyone is to support this work. And now we would like to talk about the healing and resilience that Shalom Bayit brings. It is my absolute honor to introduce our inspiring keynote speaker tonight, Sabrina Sojourner.
I really deeply appreciate the generosity in this room. Thank you, Shauna, for your hard work and inspiring so many people to give. And thank you to Shalom Bayit. One of the reasons I said yes, and actually, I'll be perfectly honest, offered myself up as the speaker for this evening is because I am a survivor myself, and I am now in a place of thriving, and I want to share just a little bit about how I got there. I also want to thank all of the staff and the board of directors, volunteers, and sustaining supporters And all of you who are new supporters, may you continue to give to Shalom Bayit and bring others with you. Sometimes I need to tell on myself when I'm at the intersection of complicated feelings. I am grateful and honored to be your keynote speaker, and it's important that you know that I stand here before you deeply brokenhearted. On Wednesday, April 10th, I received a call at 4 a.m. to tell me that my dear friend Tiffany Bailey died. She had been living with cancer for nearly a decade, so I was shocked but not surprised. Then this past Sunday, while I was in D.C., Washington, D.C., preparing to officiate Tiffany's funeral, I found out that the 22-year-old son of a dear friend had been found in the woods not too far from his home. Eli was my bonus grandchild. I still don't know all the details, only that there's no evidence of foul play. Eli, Eli, my God, what am I to do with this mess inside me? Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, teaches us that at the moment of passing, every positive thought, word, or deed that occurred during the person's life is concentrated into a pristine spiritual light. This light is revealed to the world and in heavenly spheres, where it continues to shine and have effect on those above and us below. Eliyahu and Yael, I'm counting on a little of your light to be in this room as I speak to these lovely people about love, hope, healing, being, and thriving. Harofei lisvurei lev, umchabetz la'atvotam, mone mishpar la'kochavim, lechulam shemot yikra. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know where they are. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know who we are. Elda Refana, Refana la, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. I am happy to share the music and original lyrics composed by my friend and one of my teachers, Shir Meira. Vayechi is the last Torah portion in Breshit. It tells the story of the death of Yaakov, Jacob, the blessings for the brothers, the journey to Canaan to bury Yaakov, the mourning period, the burial, and everyone's return to Egypt. Upon the return of the delegation, Joseph's brothers, fear that he will now take revenge on them for what they did to him as a youth. Instead of speaking to him directly, they send him a message. Upon hearing the message, Joseph weeps. His brothers go to him themselves, fling themselves before him and say, "We are prepared to be your slaves." But Joseph says to them, "Have no fear. Am I a substitute for God? Besides, although you intended me harm, God intended it for good, so as to bring about the present result, the survival of many people, and so fear not. I will sustain you and your dependents." Thus, He reassured them, speaking kindly to them. So Yosef and his father's household remained in Egypt. For those of us who have been injured by the world, whether someone near and dear or a stranger, the road to healing can be as complicated as Yosef's brothers' search for assurance that after all the hate and betrayal they heaped upon their little brother, there would be no vengeance. Sometimes we're not sure it's possible, that healing that we seek. Other times, we journey through all sorts of moments, events in our minds, as we try to figure out how to get off this meandering path towards something we cannot name, and without the name remains elusive. One day, I was preparing to place one more box into the closet of issues that were supposedly completed. I opened the door with all the boxes, and I swear they flew off the shelves and dumped their contents all over me, all over the floor, with remnants of dust all everywhere. I was stunned. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with the mess. Eventually, slowly, I started sifting through the memories of shelved pain and found myself stunned differently. I wasn't weighed down by any of it. I was able to be with all the hurt, pain, fear, and anger, and have compassion for the woman who experienced it. I was able to hold her and my younger self. Then the most amazing thing happened. My 4, soon-to-be 5-year-old self came running through this mess, giggling and laughing as if she had no cares in the world, and threw her arms around my neck and hugged me. "I found you," she squealed, and I started weeping, uncontrollably, open-heartedly, weeping from sheer joy. I was fully in my body with all of my selves, sheer joy, sweet joy, and gratitude. You see, I had been searching for that particular moment because that specific moment was the last time I truly felt safe in the world as a child. There were so many times when I had tried to find it, times when I really wasn't sure that I could trust that I ever had that kind of safety. Could it ever have existed for me, a black girl child? Yet the moment found me, ready to receive the safety of my dad's arms as he scooped me up and twirled me around. And it's made all the difference. What neither my dad and I nor my mom knew is that the next day, I would have that sense of safety crushed. And I do mean crushed. There's no other way to put it. The next day, a friend from kindergarten came home with me. Her mom had spoken to my mom. Her dad would pick her up. So the two of us are playing in the front lawn. We are laughing, and when her dad walks over and picks her up by her arm, she screams, and he smacks her. I want to stop him from hurting her, but he pushes me to the ground and hurls the N-word. I didn't know what it meant, but I knew it wasn't good. That evening, I was very quiet at dinner. It took some coaxing from my mom and dad for me to finally ask, "What does the N-word mean?" My parents never answered me that evening. Over the years, I came to realize that part of the move to California from Southeast Texas was an attempt to delay those kinds of experiences for their children. Healing, renewal, spaciousness, and resilience is not something that can be given to us. It is something we need to be willing to stretch out of our comfort zone for the hard fight to earn. Only we can rewrite the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves, just as Yosef did to heal himself and his brothers. Only we can search for the elusive sense of safety we think we used to have, And if you are someone who has never known safety, you get to define it and create it for yourself. My dad was my champion until he became my abuser. In the aftermath, we had many arguments about what happened. He wouldn't apologize. When I ran away from my husband because I was afraid he was going to kill me the next time he beat me, once again, he arose as my champion. Though I needed therapy because of racism, I never went. I transferred to UCSB, graduating 2 years later. For those of you who don't know, that's University of California, Santa Barbara. There are so many ways to be with severe emotional, spiritual, and physical distress. And there are as many ways to be present to the severe emotional, spiritual, and physical distress and grief. It took me a long time to realize I needed to be with the pain. I needed to cuddle it, love it, walk with it, talk with it, and a lot of crying with it. Writing has always been my salvation for healing and transformation. Not all transformations are mind-blowing. Most of them are subtle shifts in our consciousness. Noticing that a particular event, story, or moment is visiting me in my dreams, meditations, and my thoughts. I've learned to take a moment to be with it, to hold it, to comfort it, to let it comfort me. Sometimes I rewrite this script, tease myself. Why are we thinking about this again? I follow the inquiry, and it always leads to an important, often subtle something, such as taking my power back that I left in a particular situation. The path to healing is to be with the pain as something that has happened, with the ripples continuing to move through our lives. Most importantly, even though I feel the pain from a previous moment, because I am safe, I can hold that part of me and provide the comfort that wasn't available at that moment. What you have the possibility of gaining along the way cannot be taken from you. It will sometimes need to be hugged, nurtured, and soothed. And when I was working with my project of excellence for my master's in transformative leadership and social change, and yes, there is such a program, I had many long nights. One night, I had enough of the pieces I still hadn't finished, the pieces I was still considering creating, the things I was ignoring in my life, and the gremlins of the past insisting that I was in way over my head. I sat up in bed and yelled, "Enough!" I pulled back the covers, not figuratively, but actually. Pulled back the covers and said, "Everybody in bed, we are all going to sleep. I need my sleep, and I need you to shut up." For the next 2 or 3 weeks, that became my ritual as I was preparing for sleep. Okay, we're going to bed. I need you to calm down. I need you to get into the covers and go to sleep. On the day of my presentation, all of us got up to shower, got dressed, jumped in my car. Everybody was so excited. We were all behaving, even the gremlins. That's when I realized I need all of me all the time. Gremlins, warts, scars, love, writing, singing, dancing, and connecting, praising the oneness and the wondrousness of it all. In Cherokee, we call it walking the beauty path. A beautiful path can also have danger. However, we really don't have to worry about the danger because the resources will be there, if not in the moment, soon thereafter. We only need this moment, living now in this moment, with this group of amazing people. We are loved, appreciated, and safe. We use this moment. I want you, if you are in here, in any place where you have something going on that you can't quite figure out, use this moment, use this evening, use the energy of love and appreciation for ourselves and for strangers. If it can work for you, take something spiritually with you to remind you of this moment. Tuck it in your heart-mind. Don't worry about how to use it. You'll figure it out because it will come up when it's needed. The first thing that abusers take from us is our ability to trust ourselves. If you don't remember anything else I say, remember this: take your trust back. It's yours, not theirs to keep. Take your trust back. In closing, I offer this blessing. And I'll admit, it's a little different, but hang in there with me. My darling, my love, I see you standing bereft and confused, angered and pain, as one more person expects more from you than they do of themselves. The world is not upside down. There's just more of us owning our lives, our reality. We no longer deny it as if we ever did. The litany of Audre Lorde, warrior, woman, poet, and badass writer, as she lays her words on the page, we mistakenly wondered, did she struggle? Of course she did. She was mortal, just like the rest of us. Remember Audre Lorde, warrior, woman, poet, badass writer who gave language to our longings and belongings, our aches, joys, and love, exposed scars we did not know we had, mapped on our souls until Nurse Devorah licked the wounds clean of pus, and Judge and Prophet Devorah applied medicine songs, and Prophet Miriam sutured them with loving laughter. All the mothers returned us to the world with "we are expected to love ourselves" tattooed backwards on our forehead, so that whenever we caught sight of our reflection in a mirror or a window, we would quickly lean in and touch our reflection tenderly and shout, "Thank you, great love, for loving me." Mitochondrial Eve adds, "You are each my children. Act like it." Thank you very much.
A lot to say. Okay, let me figure out which one was mine. Is that all yours?
No.
Okay.
That's not. Okay, this is all mine. No.
Oh yeah,
no.
This is.
That's the one you're looking for.
It should be somewhere in there. Wait a minute.
Give us a moment.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to wing it because I can't find it. But anyway, we sure gave you a lot to think about tonight. And again, I thank you so much for joining us, making this a really special evening with all of you helping and raising lots of money. We thank the JCC, we thank the caterers, Wendy Kleckner and crew. Can't remember the other people's names, I'm sorry. We have some dessert for you in the atrium. We also have some to-go boxes if you want to get the heck out of here and go in your car and go home. Happy Pesach. And thank you so much and drive safely. Good night.